up, YouTube fam? I know it's been a while since I've been on here. I apologize for not having any videos out in the last probably month or so. I've been just dealing with a lot of health issues, unfortunately, but I'm praying that I'm on the mend. I believe Jesus is definitely working on me and healing me as we speak, and hopefully will continue to heal me soon for a full recovery. But anyways, if you guys pray, definitely pray for me. It's been very, very challenging to say the least. So trying to keep up with life, and then also our daughter having the baby literally tomorrow, getting ready for that, doing her shower, and then also trying to get videos out for you guys and doing eBay also. But I hired somebody, thankfully, finally, to help me on my eBay so I can get back and do the videos for you guys. So hopefully you guys didn't miss me too much. I absolutely missed you guys. And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Tara and I'm a full-time reseller. I've been doing this for about 5 years and I love it. It's definitely a hustle, it's definitely a grind, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. And so, yeah, so today we've actually got a different kind of video for you. Instead of doing a thrifting video or a haul video or rummage or yard sale, which is typically what we do on the channel. We show you what we've picked up and then also what we expect to get for them, and also comps of sold listings. So with that, we are going to get into something new that I haven't never done before, and I've been wanting to do it. I've seen Gemini Thrifts do this a lot. Absolutely love her. Love you, Tina. You're great. You're amazing. You're such an inspiration to me, and I'm sure to many others. But yeah, I got this idea from her and other resellers out there. So what she does is she puts up her latest weekly comps, kind of shows you what she has sold in the past week. But what I thought I would do is I would put up comps for the last month, and I kind of picked and chose ones that I thought were really unique and crazy finds that I found in the past month. So with that, let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and put the comps up on the screen for you guys so you can see what we actually sold them. These are all sold listings. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. We really appreciate you guys' support in this. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers and we cannot wait. All right, let's get into it. All right, so first we have a Garmin. Now I picked up this bag of Garmins at my local Goodwill here for, I believe I paid $5, not knowing that there was not one, but 2 of these Garmin stands. Now they didn't have the actual like Garmin computer thing, GPS, but they had the stands and then cords and a lot of other miscellaneous things with it. So I just went ahead and put it in a bundle, and I'm like, I'm just gonna throw it up there kind of blindly and asked $89.99, and that's what I got. So it did take a little bit to sell, but definitely a good pickup there for $5. All right, so next up is something that just recently sold, and I found this actually in Bloomington, which is about an hour from us. It's a Goodwill. They usually hike up their stuff. They know what they have, but it's finding the gems within that stuff, right? So yeah, this was definitely a hidden gem. It is a Pottery Barn pillow sham. Now, if you guys have been watching me long enough, you know that I love picking up Pottery Barn. To find this was absolutely amazing, because it just looked like a simple pillow sham, but when I saw the tag, I was like, oh right, Pottery Barn, and I was like, cool. I didn't think it was gonna sell for this much. I thought maybe 20, 25, but this thing sold for $45, so, and it sold really quick. I would say it sold within a week. And yeah, so I took a best offer of $45. I believe I had it listed for $49.99, but I was happy with the $45 offer for sure. So definitely be on your lookout for Pottery Barn. So these are actually some Nike running shorts that I picked up. It's probably been, gosh, a year, if not longer. These were a pickup at a Goodwill in Indianapolis when I went with my friend Kim. We stayed over and we hit up a bunch of Goodwills, so that was super fun. But this was in one of the Goodwills that we ended up finding. We didn't find a lot of stuff, but I did find this, which was absolutely amazing. Now, like I said, it took forever to sell. Very, very long tail item. I had tons of offers throughout like the past year or two, and finally someone just bought it for full price. So you guys see what it sold for, $109.99. Yeah, I guess it's some kind of crazy Nathan Bell graffiti shorts. I don't know. I just Google image searched it and that's what the comps came up with. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to list mine for around the same. And I'm glad I did because it finally sold. All right, so the next thing we have here is a vintage like embroidery hoop. It's one of the wood ones. If you guys haven't seen these or know anything about these are actually very unique and hard to find, but the ones you guys are going to want to look out are the ones that have the little circle button at the top, and some of them say queen, some of them don't. This one didn't. This one just said made in USA, so we knew it was vintage. But any of those ones that have the round buttons, definitely look them up because they are rare. Now, some of them can sell in the hundreds. I was actually pleasantly surprised that I got $45 for this, and this sold within a day. I would even say maybe hours. So, and this was a 25-cent pickup. Yeah, people don't know. I found this in an Amish community near us, and it was at a little thrift store that me and my daughter went to. And yeah, I believe I only paid 25 cents for this. So yeah, crazy pickup. All right, here is a pickup that my husband ended up finding. Super proud of him. He's doing it so much better in finding things to flip on eBay. Now, since I've been doing this for so much longer, it's kind of hard for him because I know so much more and he sees all the stuff that I get and find. But when he does find stuff, he usually finds really good stuff. So this one was a vintage Hewlett-Packard calculator. We found this at a local yard sale that we went to. He found it for $1. Like crazy. When he told me the comps, I was like, yeah, pick that up. You better pay him really quick. And that is what we did. So we ended up listing this for $139.99 and it sold for full price. And I would say this probably only took maybe a month to sell. So that was awesome. And honey, I'm very proud of you. All right, here is a pickup that I just got at a yard sale. That was an unexpected yard sale. So we went to a city called Brazil. It was about an hour and 20 minutes from us. We were super excited because they were having a rummage sale, an annual rummage sale. But when we got there, honestly, very disappointed. I got a few things, but nothing crazy, and definitely not worth the drive to go to that rummage sale. But then just down the street, we followed some signs and we found a yard sale, which definitely made up for that kind of bad rummage sale. But anyways, this is one of the items that I found. It was in a box and it said $5 for everything. So it was a Canon Sure Shot point and shoot, but it is a film camera. So people love these right now. They love the point and shoots. They love the digital point and shoots, and also the film cameras. Now, definitely the name matters. Canon, Nikon, some Pentax ones do. The ones that you're probably going to want to stay away from are like the Kodak. There might be some that are worth money, but usually they're not. But anyways, for $5, I picked up this bundle and it worked. I took it home, I tested it, and I was so excited because it worked. So I threw it up in a bundle, and I got $89.99 full price, and it didn't take too long to sell, maybe a week. So yeah, for $5, that was awesome. And actually at this yard sale, one of the girls was like, oh, what are you guys doing with your cameras? And so we explained what we did, and she's like, oh, I'll subscribe to you. I'm like, awesome. So she did. She subscribed right then and there. So I'm sure she's going to see this up on our video probably in a few weeks, maybe a month or so. We're kind of behind still. But yeah, that was an awesome find. So thank you to you who sold me the $5 box of Canon Sure Shot stuff. We made some good profit off of it. All right, next up is a bug tamer jacket that I picked up at our local Goodwill. It is a camo like mesh, and it had like an interior mesh as well, and it was hooded, which was really nice. And I guess it keeps like the insects and stuff away from like people that are hunting and stuff like that. And I couldn't believe how much these go for. I know that they did pretty good, but I didn't know this good. So we got $69.99 for this, and it sold really quick. I would say within a week or two. So that was awesome. And it was only $5 at my local Goodwill. So next up is a lot of 16 Lala Loopsy figures. So I just recently picked this up as well. I believe I paid $3 or $4 for a bag of Lala Loopsy figures. There was a ton in there with all, not just the figures, there were 16 figures plus all the accessories, and they had a couple houses and furniture and like their pets and stuff. So I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna throw it up and put it all in one big lot, and I'm glad I did, because check out that price, $72.99. Like what? And it sold quick. So great purchase there. So if you guys see me looking to the left, it's because I'm looking at my listings to tell you what is up next. So that's what I'm doing. So if you're wondering that's what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. So next up we have a vintage boho woven chain linked leather bag. So this was a crazy pickup. So this was actually at a thrift store that we go to frequently, usually me and my daughter. It's called Second Time's the Charm, and this is only about a 20-minute drive from us. It's just a little thrift store, very hit or miss in that store, but I found some really good things. Like I found one time, it was like this plush, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a fur plush, but then it's kind of got the plastic face. And yeah, that thing I paid, I think $1.50 for, and I flipped it for like $300. If I have comps, I'm gonna put them up here on the screen for you guys, but that was amazing. So you just never know what you're gonna find when you go out to thrift, and that was awesome. So anyways, that is this store. And this purse, I believe I picked it up for $1. Like, I don't know, that's ringing a bell that it was $1. It was definitely not more than $5, but it took a while to sell. I would say probably 6 months to sell, but still worth holding on to for $69.99. So that was awesome there. Here's another purse that I picked up. This one, honestly, can I even remember where I got it? It's been listed a long time. I would say I probably picked this up at our local Goodwill. I'm not 100% sure. I usually don't pay more than $10 on a purse, and that's probably how much I paid for this, unless it's like a Coach or something, and I know it's worth $100 or more. But this is a vintage Erta crossbody bag, I guess, but it was really cool with all the fringe and stuff like that, and I thought it would sell a lot quicker. I had a lot of people watching it, and I sent out a lot of offers on it, but it took the right person, obviously, to finally bite the bullet and pay $74 for it. So that was cool. All right, so here is a Pottery Barn, another Pottery Barn leaf string lights home decor set. Now it literally was in a box like this, and it was brand new, and I believe I paid like under $5 for this. And this was actually picked up in a city called Carmel, which is north of us in Indianapolis, so about an hour and a half from us. It kind of a richy area, so they have really good thrift stores. me and my husband went and we scored on some amazing stuff, but this was one of them. And I couldn't believe how much these actually sell for. So it took about a couple months to sell, but we got $49.99. So yeah, not too shabby there. All right, I'm gonna shout out my mom here. My mom is so cute. When she's out thrifting, she's always looking for stuff for us to flip on eBay, and she found a gem this time. So thank you, Mom. You're amazing. Absolutely love you, and you did good on this item. So pat yourself on the back because you did well. So this one is a Zara ET hoodie, and I guess it's pretty sought after. It did take a while to sell. I would say a few months, maybe even 6 months to sell, but it sold for $58.99. So I'll take that. And yeah, good find, Mom. I'm proud of you. Next up, we have a pair of boots. I love finding boots, and when I found these, I couldn't believe how much they went for. I never in my wildest dreams would have imagined that they went for this amount of money. These were picked up at my local Goodwill. They didn't price them up. They put $10 on them, and that's what I paid. And yeah, there's some they're called Thorogood leather men's 8-inch. I don't know, whatever that means. But yeah, these things sold super quick. I would say within a week for $144.99. So what a score. So definitely be on the lookout for Thorogood. I believe this is the first time that I've ever picked up this brand. And they just felt quality. So I knew that they would do well, but not this well. So that is awesome. So next up is a Dooney and Burke purse. It is a vintage one, and this was actually a purse that I picked up in a dollar bin. Yeah, a dollar bin. So we went to a community sale, I would say probably at least a month ago, and it didn't take too long to sell. As you can see, it already sold. But yeah, I listed this thing and it was in pretty good shape, and we got 50 bucks for it. So for a dollar, like crazy, right? All right, so next up is a vintage Teletubbies pair of kids shoes. Now these are actually shoes that I found the same day that I found that embroidery hoop that I just showed you guys. And yeah, I listed these. They sold it within a day, maybe even a few hours, for $89.99, and I believe I paid $1.99 for them. So crazy, right? Teletubbies are really hot right now. So some of the older, like vintage stuff that your kids used to watch or you used to watch when you were a kid, they're coming back and people want them. Bear in the Big Blue House is another one. I might have put one item that my daughter found actually when we went to a thrift store, a Bear in the Big Blue House item, and I might have put it in here. I'm not sure. We'll see. But anyways, be on your lookout for Bear in the Big Blue House, Teletubbies, and the vintage items for cartoons and kids shows, because some of them do really well. And like I said, these ones were no exception. So super excited about that. They are new tags, so that probably definitely helped. They had a little flaw on them, which I mentioned, but they didn't care. And they stunk. They actually smelled vintage. And I noted that in the description too. And yeah, they still sold. So yeah, great find. All right, so next up is a vintage casual corner cardigan sweater. It had like princesses on it, and it was all down the sleeves. It was a front and back hit, and beautiful sweater. I can't remember if it was hand knitted, but this thing was amazing. And so yeah, I listed it for $54.99 and it sold. And we picked up this one at Sullivan store. If you guys have seen some of our videos that we go to a Goodwill in Sullivan, this is where I found it. The Goodwill in Sullivan is one of my favorites because they always have the best vintage sweaters. And I I just love picking up vintage sweaters, and so I was super excited when I found this one. So here is another cartoon character you're gonna wanna look out for. It is from Bear in the Big Blue House, and it's Pop. There's two of these otter plushes. They're called Pip and Pop, and I found Pop, and I was looking everywhere for maybe Pip if they had it, but we did not find it. But I still picked him up, and I believe I think we paid up on this one. I want to say around $6 or $7, which is paying up for plush, but he flipped like probably within days for $59.99. So yeah, definitely be on your lookout for those vintage characters because you may be surprised. All right, so here is a American Girl doll. Now, she was pretty rough. Honestly, she looked like Frankenstein. She was green. So the previous owner must have painted her face. And so I had to note that in the description. And also I had to take a lot less for her. But I knew since she was a vintage American Girl doll, she's actually by the Pleasant Company. If you guys don't know, Pleasant Company, if you guys see that on the back of the doll, that means they're just an older version of the American Girl doll. And yeah, so I knew that this one was going to do well. She would have done a lot better if she didn't have a green face, but we'll still take her, and I'm glad I did because she sold for $80. Next up is a blanket. I found this at our local Goodwill store a long time ago, but it took me a while to list it. This thing was full of dog hair. Now, if you guys don't know, wool and wool blankets, wool sweaters, they attract hair like magnets, and it just keeps coming. Like I probably spent an hour getting the hair out, but it was worth it because look at that price, $144, and I paid probably no more than $5 for this blanket. But I did have to put a lot of work into it, and as you can see, it is a Pendleton. It's a Beaver State blanket, I guess, and it was huge, and it had amazing fringe on it. So definitely worth the pickup. A lot of work went into it, but I would take that any day. Honestly, $144, that was awesome. Okay, so here is the Bear in the Big Blue House thing that I was mentioning before that my daughter found when we were out thrifting. I believe this was Sullivan as well. It is a vintage Bear in the Big Blue House live light stick. I guess when you go to concerts and stuff, they sell these light sticks and you can put them up in the air and they all light up, and you know, it just looks like a really cool ambiance at the concert or wherever you're at. So that's what this is for. I couldn't find any listed or sold or even on Google. So I was like, you know what? When that happens, that's usually when I say I'm going to put it up on auction. So that's what I did since I had no idea what it was worth. It's obviously a rare item if someone's looking for it. And it did sell for $41. I thought it would honestly sell for a little bit more, but I was happy with the $41 because literally we probably paid $2 for this. So great find, honey. Appreciate you all the time. My daughter is amazing and she has a very good eye. I'm not sure where she got that from. All right, so here is a blue jean teddy bear fleece baby blanket, brand new. Yeah, brand new, guys. So if you guys saw my video on this, probably it's been months, if not 6 months, maybe even a year ago. We put out a video where I found a ton of this blue jean teddy bear stuff. I guess it's very popular, hard to find, and it's vintage. So I found a lot of it brand new at our local Goodwill store, and I paid no more than $5 for this blanket, and look what it flipped for, $107. I actually accepted a offer because I was honestly tired of sitting on it, and I was like, $100 still is really good for a $5 blanket. So definitely be on your lookout for this blue jean teddy bear. I actually find it quite a bit here in my area, so I'm excited because it always makes me really good money. All right, so here is an item. It's not anything crazy. This is an item that I picked up with that Pop plush that I just showed you from Bear in the Big Blue House. And yeah, it just sold super quick and for some decent amount of money. You guys know I love picking up these needle points. This was brand new and sealed. I paid $2 for it and it flipped for $32.99. So not too bad. A little bit more than bread and butter for us. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon and honey on top, as I like to say. But yeah, that was a nice find and a fast flip, which we absolutely love. All right, we've only got 2 more here for you guys. So this one right here is another embroidery kit, and this one's actually a stocking kit, which is probably my absolute favorite to find out in the wild, is the needlepoint stocking kits. So this was actually a Facebook Marketplace find. I bought a ton of them from her. She actually sells them for somebody else. I guess this lady had a ton of needlepoint stuff, and so she's having somebody else sell them for her online. And so when I found out she had a lot of these, I ended up buying probably at least 10 of them from her, and I made hundreds of dollars off of this purchase. But this one sold recently. It did take a while to sell. It probably took 6 months since I think I listed these right before Christmas, which was perfect timing. But this one just took a little bit longer to sell, but it sold for 80 bucks. And I didn't pay more than $10 each on these stocking kits. So definitely be on the lookout. This is definitely a BOLO to look out for, is these stocking kits, if I don't find them first. All right, here is the next one that I have. Last but not least is a 20-piece vintage variety lot of Joseph original mice. They are ceramic mice, and as I said, they are vintage. They were only about this big, but I found these at Terre Haute, and they had just put out a cart, and the whole cart was loaded of these mice, like crazy. And so I started going through trying to see which ones were worth it. Most of that stuff honestly was not worth it. There was a lot of stuff that was like no name brand or anything like that. It was a collector that loved mice. I don't think she cared or he cared what the brand was, but she had a lot of these vintage Joseph ones. And what they did, and it's kind of cringeworthy, especially for resellers, is they lot these ceramic pieces, like 5, 6, 7 of them, in a plastic bag and expect it not to break. Lucky, I got them home and safely, and none of them were broken. But I ended up picking up about 5 of the bags, and they were $2.99 each. So I did have, actually, I believe I picked up 6 bags because I remember paying $18 for the 6 bags at $3 each. So I did have $18 into them, but I'm like, I knew what I was gonna do. I counted up how many of the mice were in each one that had the Joseph originals, and then they had some random other stuff that I did end up selling the random stuff together. So I did make some money there too as well. But these I threw up in a lot, 20 of them total, and they all had their tags. I believe there's only one that didn't have its tag. But this one sold super fast, I would say in a week or two, for $89.99. Now, this one was not easy to ship. If you can imagine shipping 20 mice. So I literally cut 20 pieces of bubble wrap and I wrapped them individually, and then I put them and I separated them by sections in the box so they were all safe. Each of them had their own little bubble wrap so that they wouldn't like clank against each other and break. And that's the last thing I want, is a customer to get something that's broken. So I definitely took my time on that. I don't love shipping glassware for that reason, because of the breakage, and USPS is not always that fragile with your packages. So, but I thought this would be worth it. They were fun to pick up. And like I said, I made money off of the random ones in the bags as well. So yeah, so I just thought that was a really really fun pickup. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I actually enjoyed making this. I'm gonna make more in the future. If you guys have any ideas, throw them at me, leave me a comment, let me know what you would like me to do a video on, whether it's like sold listings or favorite finds or whatever you guys think. Just let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, we'll mix it up with the garage sales, rummage sales, and because we're in it right now is the rummage sale season and the garage sales, the yard sales. I keep saying garage sales. They say yard sales out here for some reason, so I'm going to try to keep saying yard sales. But yeah, we'll mix it up with that, and also our Goodwill thrift trips, and also our local little thrift stores. So if you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate you guys. And until next time, until I don't thrift and make a video that I've never done before, catch you on the flip side. If you like this sort of content,
Yay!
Or if you don't,
don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell your friends. And until next time,
catch you on the flip side.